Hi, this is Bob Stanke. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to show you three of my all-time favorite business books. I read a lot of business books. I've got a whole stack here. Actually, this is just a few of them that are currently just kind of within arm's reach. But today, I want to share with you three of my all-time favorites. I've got a list of top 10 or 15. These three fit in there. They're probably near the top. So that's what I want to share with you today. So the first one that I highly recommend if you're a small business owner, you read is Blue Ocean Strategy. So a couple of key elements about this book. It's all about creating uncontested market spaces. The whole idea behind the blue ocean is that it's the sharks aren't there. So the book makes a comparison of red ocean, which is a lot of competition in the marketplace. You're fighting for customers. Instead, look for the uncontested market spaces where it's blue ocean. There are no competitors, and there's a sea of customers out there to get. So that's kind of the first concept of this book. The second big concept of this book is about value innovation, which is all about finding a combination of innovation and new things, new products, new services that are completely new in the marketplace, and bringing them with value. So what's the highest utility you can provide at the lowest cost? So there's a great diagram in the book. Looks like an hourglass where innovation comes together and meets with value, which is kind of rare actually, because as innovation usually creeps into the picture, usually makes the cost of the product or service rise. The idea behind this book is instead deliver that innovation at a lower cost. The third thing is the four actions framework, which I'm not going to spoil for you. You got to read the book to find out more about what the four actions framework is. But Blue Ocean Strategy, definitely a top 10 book. Highly recommend you read that one. Okay, that's number one. Second book. This might be number one, actually, on my list of top 10 books of all time. This might be number one. Playing to Win. Great book. Highly recommend you read this one. So, a couple things, couple key notes about this one. Strategy is about making choices and sometimes difficult choices. There's a lot of really great examples in here of businesses that had to decide what they were going to do with a product or service, whether or not they were going to enhance it or maybe sunset it and get rid of it, maybe sell it to a another company. So sometimes it's about making tough choices, and this book talks a lot about that. Tons of great case study examples in here. Um, Things that I had no idea that a company had at one time and then just sold or got rid of. So it's all about making choices. That's a key one in here. Also, the 5-step strategic choice framework is in here. Basically, where are we going to play and how are we going to win? And there's a 5-step strategic approach to that framework. And this book talks about that. And then finally, the last kind of concept is the role of leadership and strategy. I think when companies are doing strategic planning, the idea that you're going to walk out with some sort of fancy plan, but really it's about how the plan is executed, and that requires good leadership. And this book talks about that. So, Playing to Win, definitely. Like I said, this may be number one. Actually, this might be my favorite business book of all time. Third and last recommendation: Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. Um, Another great book. Couple of key concepts, key takeaways that I get out of this book. Um, Clear priorities. I think obviously we're flooded with opportunity. We're flooded with everything that we could possibly do in our businesses, and you have to prioritize those. And not everything can be a top priority. Otherwise, you don't have a priority. So the whole idea in this book is you have a handful of top priorities. You have three priorities, and of those three, you've got one that is your top priority. So it's all about creating clear priorities and making sure that you stick to those. The other thing this book talks a lot about is metrics and data and the importance of them making decisions for your business, having good data, having good metrics. Talks a lot about that in the book as well. And then finally, and this one might seem kind of not such a big deal, but it actually really is, meeting cadence. How often are you meeting with staff? How often are you meeting in team environments, one-on-ones, things like that? It's actually a key component to having an effective company is making sure that you have some of these things in place that follow some sort of structure. I talk a lot about EOS, traction, and how that creates a structure for your business. I've written a lot about it on my blog. You can definitely go check it out. I'll include the link down in the description to my website. But I talk a lot about EOS and a lot about traction and other frameworks. Scaling Up was the book that followed this one. Verne Harnish wrote Scaling Up. It's probably my favorite framework. This is kind of the precursor to Scaling Up. So definitely recommend Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. So those are my three recommended books to read if you're, kind of in a cold weather environment right now, or perhaps you're vacationing over the summer and you're looking for a good book to read. Those would be my three top recommendations. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like this video. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.